We have a huge game between Washington and Green Bay for Thursday night, week 2 NFL. So I'm going to give my picks for this game as well as some props I like, some touchdown scores as well. So before I get into everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. It's all free. We have we have NFL picks against the spread. We have 2026 and 2027 NFL mock drafts. We have fantasy football rankings. We have NFL power rankings. We grade every signing. We grade every trade. It's all at walterfootball.com. And like I said, it's all free. Yeah, there are a lot of ads on there, but you can actually get an ad-free experience as well for a small fee each month. But if you don't do that, like I said, the content's free. You just have to deal with the ads. But we have new content, lots of content every single day. Okay, so we have Washington and Green Bay. This line opened Green Bay -3. It has risen to -3.5. I like Washington here. I think that these teams are about even. Now, that may sound crazy given that Green Bay just demolished Detroit, but that kind of was expected. We love the Packers last week. It was one of the biggest plays for us. It was one of my super contest plays. And Detroit, that's because Detroit, I think, is very overrated right now. I bet the Lions not make the playoffs. I posted a video in the summer talking about the 3 most overrated teams in the NFL. I had the Lions there with the Bengals, and I can't even remember. I forget who the third team was, but the Lions and the Bengals, I think, are the 2 most overrated teams in the NFL. And it's because the Lions lost both coordinators. They lost both. They lost 2 of their best interior linemen, and a lot of their defensive players that got hurt last year aren't even back yet. Ali McNeil, for example. There are 3 guys who got hurt last year who aren't playing yet. So this team is kind of a shell of its former self. And like I said, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Now, there's a chance they could, of course, but I think there's more of a chance that they don't rather than they do. So with that in mind, I don't think that Green Bay's huge win over Detroit is as impressive as a lot of people are making it out to be. So we tend to have a lot of overreactions in week 1. I think the Packers' big win against Detroit could be one of those overreactions. Now, I'm not saying Green Bay is not good. Green Bay is in the top 6 or 7 teams in my power rankings. They're in Group A. I group every team by A, B, C, D, or F. Group A is the elite team. I still have Green Bay as a Group A team, but I also have Washington as a Group A team. Washington has made a lot of improvements. They got Laramie Tunsil to protect the blind side. They got Deebo Samuel, who had a big week 1. At the trade deadline last year, they got Marshawn Lattimore, who's doing well for that secondary. They got Von Miller to help the pass rush. This is a great team as well. So I think this line should be like Packers -1.5 or so, given that these 2 teams are even in my mind. I have them like right next to each other in my power rankings. I think either 5 and 6 or 4 and 5. I can't remember, but they're right next to each other in my power rankings. And so the fact that we're getting +3.5 with the team I deem even to be even with the favorite, I think that's great value. So sign me up for Washington +3.5 here. And then we get to the props. So let's begin with receiver props. It's kind of like the meat of this here. I think there are a couple of things here that stand out to me. First, you can go with Matthew Golden under 34.5 receiving yards. I know he's the cool first round pick, like the new shiny toy that the Packers have, but he didn't play all that much last week. And I know that the Packers were playing from ahead, so yeah, there's a reason why he shouldn't have played that much. But of the percentage of snaps in which that the Packers threw, he was on the field pretty low percentage. And while I think that's definitely going to change, I mean, he's the first round pick and he has a lot of ability. I think maybe early in the season he's not going to play all that much. So to see an under 34.5, I like that here. I like Zach Ertz over 31.5. Green Bay has a great pass rush, and so Jane Daniels is not going to have a lot of time in the pocket. So I think we could see him scramble quite a bit. Also, he could dump passes off to his low A-dot guys, average depth of target, which would be Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz. For Ertz, I like the over receiving yards, so I think he gets there. He could be in for a big night. So if you're looking at DFS, I think he's worth a play, assuming that his salary is not too high. From Eckler's perspective, I like the receiving yards, reception. Sorry. Now I know it's over 2.5 minus 188. The vig here is terrible, but this could be an easy leg for you in your same game parlay. So we're kind of building that here. We have Golden under 34.5, Ertz over 31.5 receiving yards, Eckler over 2.5 receptions. So I like those numbers. Also, Debo Samuel over 4.5 receptions as well. I think he could have a big game. He saw 10 targets last week. And so, like, given that he's suddenly a big part of the offense, and remember, when McLaurin was holding out, Jane Daniels is building a lot of chemistry with Debo Samuel. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Rushing props, I like Jane Daniels over 44.5 rushing yards. This is a big game. I like mobile quarterbacks in big games. And so Jane Daniels, who couldn't be flushed out of the pocket with that great pass rush, I think that he could run quite a bit here. So I like this number here. Everything else seems about even. I really don't see an edge here for anything else. So we could pop over to the touchdown score props and look at some of those. So the one that first of all, Josh Jacobs is minus 210 anytime, plus 350 first. I know that there's it seems pretty easy for him to score a touchdown, and I think that it's probably a good bet to do that. Like, I think there's a great chance it does it, but minus 210 anytime, there's just no value there. And first, the plus 350 is no value there either. If I'm looking at someone, it's going to be Zach Ertz at plus 270 at anytime touchdown. If you want to be a little risky, 19-1 for first touchdown. I think that's not bad, but I'd rather bet the plus 270 anytime touchdown. Jane Daniels tends to look a lot towards Zach Ertz in the end zone. So you could see him have a big game. We just saw Sam Laporta lead the Lions in receiving yards against Green Bay. So perhaps Zach Ertz is going to get there as well. So I like that as well. So a couple other ones here. If you're looking at a Green Bay player, I think that maybe Jaden Reed at plus 200 to score a touchdown. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to bet that one, but he's the best receiver the Packers have right now. Now, Matthew Golden probably has more talent, but he's not playing as much. And I think, like, maybe in the second half of the season, you say Golden is the best receiver on the Packers, but right now it's Jaden Reed. The problem with Jaden Reed with his yardage is that he is only playing in 3 receiver sets, but when he's going to be on the field, there's a decent chance that he scores a touchdown. And given that he's the best Packer receiver, plus 200 doesn't seem that bad for anytime touchdown. Even like 12-1 first touchdown, I think is pretty appealing as well. And if you're looking for like a longer shot, I think maybe Noah Brown, anytime touchdowns plus 600. He played a fair amount last week. I think that he definitely has a chance to get there. And so I think he's a pretty good dart throw for Washington as the number 3 receiver on that team. Noah Brown last week, he played 33 snaps. He ran 24 routes. And that was number 3 among receivers. And he was pretty close. So Terry McLaurin ran 35 routes. Debo Samuel ran 33, and then you have Noah Brown at 24, and then the next receiver, Jalen Lane at 14. So 24 routes run here for a plus 600 guy. Anytime touchdown seems pretty doable. So as far as the same game parlay is concerned, I would put in, given that Eckler had that high number, I think he deserves to be in there. I like Ertz over and Golden under. Those are my 3 favorites here. And I'd probably take Daniels out and the touchdown guys out. Maybe you want to put in Debo Samuel, but if you like Washington like I do, what I would do is I would put in maybe instead of plus 3.5, you can go to alternate spread and go plus 7.5. That way you get all the key numbers. So plus 7.5 for Washington here is minus 245. So this 4-game leg is plus 570, and you can definitely get it boosted. Every sportsbook is going to have a 25 to 50% boost. So you can probably get like 10-1 on this, and I like this quite a bit. So this might be similar to the same game parlay we post on the site. I will have that Thursday afternoon, so check that out, walterfootball.com. And then please hit like, subscribe, share this video, comment below. All that will help us out a lot, and I will talk to you in the next